So I'm going to look for NZD/USD. Next item is, where am I looking? I'm looking in this data source. Select all table. If I find a match, what do I recover? In this case, I have bid and ask, so I'm just going to recover bid. So the second column, do I require, the last argument is, do I require an exact match? The answer is yes, so write false. Automatically got New Zealand dollar for, or if I want AUD, it grabs it for me. Euro, GBP, right? This is instead of looking them up with our eyes. Of course, this is only for the case that it is a direct. So here's what we're going to do. If this thing equals USD, come on. Oh, equals 0, I'm sorry. 1. Otherwise, if this thing equals 1, that means it is indeed a direct quote. It should be B2. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to copy this thing, paste it back. But this time I'm looking for USD slash and B2. Okay. So let's basically use different things. And so, depending upon whether it's direct or not, it automatically finds it. So suppose I'm going to calculate GBP against Turkish lira. Okay. I'll just copy that formula. That gives me what you want to call the exchange rates against dollar. All I have to do is I have to just calculate the cross rate. Okay. Now, so let's handle 3 cases. If the first one is equal to 0, let's handle that case, right? If B4, B3, I'm sorry. If this thing is -1, and let's handle each case. If it is 0 again, obviously the exchange rates. We'll worry about it then. If it is equal to -1, that's the value of that currency in US dollars anyway. So I'm just going to get that one. Otherwise, it's going to be 1 over that one. Okay, that's the case when it is 0. So I'm doing dollar versus something else. Next, if this thing equals 1, I'm going to get this exchange rate. Suppose in this case, I'm doing value of £1 in Turkish liras, right? So I start with £1 that's equal to that many dollars. And I'm going to multiply that with if that's equal to -1. I'm going to multiply with that. Otherwise, 1 over that. If this thing is -1 or 0, I'm going to first get 1 over that. No. This should be, yeah. It should be correct, but we'll check it anyway. What if this was New Zealand? £1 is equal to 1.3085 dollars, but I need to convert that into New Zealand dollars. Since it's direct, I divide by it. So the correct answer is that. What if we do CHF New Zealand? Just to check the answer, 1 CHF is equal to 1 over that, and that's equal to 1 over that. Correct. Let's make that TRY. We basically made use of here the lookups to grab the exchange rates, here the if functions to figure out which cases we're dealing with. The if functions are very useful. You need to be a little bit careful what you're doing, but check that it is doing it correctly. So tell me any rate you want to know. Of course, it has to be here, right? For example, Indian rupee and pound. So £1 buys you 109, almost 110 Indian rupees. I don't know if you have Pakistani rupees. No. It may be called something else. Or you can even do, what is the value of Bitcoin? And actually, Bitcoin is also different since we're not dealing with it. Maybe we should make this. I'm not going to do that. How about one Mexican peso is equal to how many Turkish liras? Or one Turkish lira is equal to how many South African rands? We have a nice little cross currency calculator. But if you just want to grab USD versus South African rand, of course, it automatically grabs it, or USD versus New Zealand, or you want to grab South African rand versus USD. Depending upon whether it's direct or indirect, we took care of it. So if I gave you a homework assignment to calculate cross rates, all you have to do is use this, right? Or you can go through the motions. But if you have a